It's actually a war. It's an Australia-wide problem.
Cats are very well established across the island.
Australia faces a unique challenge with millions of invasive feral cats wreaking havoc on its ecosystems.
Feral cats are pretty tough, cunning, ferocious animals that are killing lots of native wildlife every day.
The impact is staggering. But have you ever wondered how Australian farmers tackle this issue head-on?
When it comes to cats, it's kind of an awkward situation because
What methods are employed to control feral cat populations?
The machine detects the shape of a cat, firing a toxic green gel.
How do these farmers protect their livestock and native wildlife? Join us as we look at how Australian farmers deal with millions of invasive feral cats. Feral cats pose a significant threat to Australian farmers, particularly in the realm of livestock and agricultural production. These seemingly harmless felines have a more profound impact than meets the eye, causing a cascade of issues that can compromise the livelihoods of those involved in agriculture.
Of feral animals, feral cats in this case, to run around the environment.
Firstly, the predation behavior of feral cats has a direct and detrimental effect on livestock populations. These cats, often left unchecked in rural areas, are opportunistic hunters with a keen instinct for targeting vulnerable animals. Young livestock, such as lambs and chicks, are particularly susceptible to feral cat predation. This results in a tangible economic loss for farmers, as the reduced growth and survival rates of their livestock hinder overall productivity.
Each cat is killing on average several native animals every night.
Moreover, the stress induced by the constant threat of feral cat attacks can have broader implications for the well-being of livestock. The perpetual state of alertness and fear can negatively impact the animal's health, affecting their growth, reproduction, and overall resilience. This, in turn, contributes to a cycle of diminished productivity and increased financial strain on farmers.
We just followed the pussycat and went round and then lost it, and then we tried to go twice, look around for it.
Now let's consider the spread of diseases like toxoplasmosis and sarcocystosis and the subsequent economic ramifications. These diseases, often associated with feral cat populations, pose a dual threat to both livestock and the financial well-being of those in the agricultural sector.
Across Australia, to fence out cats and foxes, to give little native animals a chance.
Toxoplasmosis, a parasitic infection caused by the Toxoplasma gondii parasite, is a significant health risk associated with feral cats. This parasite can be excreted in the feces of infected cats, contaminating soil and water sources. Livestock grazing in these areas are at risk of ingesting the parasite, leading to infections that can result in reproductive issues, stillbirths, and reduced meat and milk production.
A global epicenter for mammal extinctions.
Now let's consider the spread of diseases like toxoplasmosis and sarcocystosis. The economic toll of toxoplasmosis on farmers is evident through the increased veterinary expenses required to manage infected animals and the loss of revenue due to decreased livestock productivity.
Negatively affect agriculture and crops by overgrazing.
Sarcocystosis is another concern linked to feral cats, involving a protozoan parasite of the genus Sarcocystus. Feral cats can serve as definitive hosts for this parasite, passing it through their feces. Livestock, particularly those in close proximity to contaminated areas, can contract sarcocystosis by ingesting the parasite's oocysts.
Calm it down a little bit.
Cats are believed to have been responsible for declining penguin population.
The resulting infections may manifest in muscle cysts, affecting the quality and market value of meat. Farmers face economic repercussions as they contend with reduced meat quality, potential trade restrictions due to disease prevalence, and the added expenses associated with monitoring and managing sarcocystosis in their livestock.
Bandicoots, bilbies, brush-tailed bedhogs, and central rock rats.
The economic implications of these diseases extend beyond direct veterinary costs. Infected animals may require additional care, impacting labor and time resources for farmers. Moreover, the diminished quality and productivity of livestock can translate to lower market prices, affecting the overall income of farmers who rely on the sale of healthy and robust animals. As the claws of feral cats dig deep into Australia's farmlands, how do farmers fortify their defenses? You'll find out in a moment.
Well, they're just about to check their traps for feral cats.
Feral cats continue to pose a substantial threat to Australian farmers, necessitating effective strategies for mitigation. Among these, the use of fencing and other physical barriers stands out as a frontline defense, offering a tangible and practical approach to protect sensitive areas and livestock from the predatory impact of feral cats.
Young kitten, actually.
Okay.
That hessian and put over it to
Calm it down.
Calm it down a little bit.
Fencing represents a fundamental component of feral cat management for farmers. The primary goal is to create a barrier that restricts feral cat access to vulnerable areas, such as livestock pens, poultry houses, and agricultural fields. The construction of sturdy and well-designed fences serves as an initial deterrent, preventing feral cats from infiltrating spaces where they could wreak havoc. Farmers employ various types of fencing tailored to their specific needs and the landscape of their properties. Perimeter fencing, often erected around the entire farm or in specific sections, provides a broad defense against feral cat intrusion. This type of fencing is typically tall and designed to deter climbing, ensuring that feral cats are unable to breach the boundaries.
Stage 2 of the fencing project will expand the predator-free area to an astounding 100,000 hectares.
Mesh or wire fencing is a popular choice, offering both visibility and durability. The mesh design prevents feral cats from squeezing through openings, while its transparency allows farmers to monitor potential threats from a distance. Electric fencing adds an additional layer of deterrence, delivering a mild shock upon contact and discouraging feral cats from attempting to breach the barrier.
There's another fact about cats, which makes them the enemy of other animals. They spread disease.
Effective fencing requires careful consideration of the specific challenges posed by feral cats. For instance, the height of the fence is a critical factor. Feral cats are skilled climbers, and a low fence may prove ineffective. Hence, farmers often opt for taller fences, making it more difficult for feral cats to scale and access protected areas. Digging is another tactic employed by feral cats to gain entry. In response, farmers may extend fencing underground or install an apron, creating a barrier beneath the surface. This prevents feral cats from burrowing underneath the fence, enhancing its overall effectiveness. Enclosures serve as a targeted solution to protect livestock from feral cat predation. Farmers establish secure enclosures for vulnerable animals such as lambs, poultry, and smaller livestock, creating a confined space where feral cats cannot freely roam. These enclosures are constructed with a combination of solid walls and mesh or wire, providing both protection and visibility. By isolating vulnerable animals within these enclosures, farmers can significantly reduce the risk of feral cat attacks, ensuring the safety and well-being of their livestock. Beyond traditional physical barriers, farmers explore innovative deterrents to dissuade feral cats from entering protected areas. Scent-based repellents, strategically placed around vulnerable zones, capitalize on feral cats' strong aversion to certain odors. This method leverages the cat's acute sense of smell to create an uncomfortable environment, discouraging their presence. Ultrasonic devices emitting high-frequency sounds that are imperceptible to humans but bothersome to feral cats serve as another innovative deterrent. These devices are strategically placed in areas of concern, creating an auditory barrier that disrupts feral cat behavior. While not foolproof, these deterrents add an extra layer of protection to the physical barriers already in place. Farmers leverage the existing landscape to enhance their defense against feral cats. Natural land features such as water bodies or dense vegetation can be strategically incorporated into feral cat management plans. Water bodies act as natural barriers, limiting access points for feral cats and impeding their movement. Dense vegetation serves as both a physical barrier and a deterrent, as feral cats may find it challenging to navigate through thick vegetation to reach vulnerable areas. Modern farming practices often integrate technology into fencing systems for enhanced efficacy. Motion-activated sensors connected to alarms or lighting systems can alert farmers to potential feral cat activity near the perimeter. This not only aids in early detection, but also serves as a deterrent, disrupting the stealthy approach of feral cats. Camera systems are also utilized to monitor fence lines and assess the effectiveness of existing barriers. Farmers can gather valuable data on feral cat behavior and identify any weaknesses in the fencing structure that may require attention.
It's going to trigger if there's any animals walking past.
Despite the effectiveness of fencing, challenges persist. Feral cats are adaptable creatures, and some may learn to navigate or overcome physical barriers. In response, farmers continually refine and adapt their fencing strategies. Regular maintenance, prompt repairs, and the incorporation of innovative technologies contribute to the resilience of fencing systems against the persistent threat of feral cats. Fencing may deter, but trapping is an art. Now let us dive into the trenches of feral cat control, where farmers employ various trapping methods to outsmart their elusive foes. From cage traps to humane techniques, witness the strategies used by farmers in the relentless pursuit of removing feral cats from their farms. Trapping remains a common tool in the arsenal of farmers battling the growing issue of feral cats in Australia. While often relegated to a backup method after fencing and habitat modification fail, trapping offers a targeted approach for localized feral cat control. But in a nation brimming with ethical concerns and environmental awareness, the emphasis has shifted towards humane practices, prioritizing the welfare of both feral cats and native ecosystems. Cage traps, also known as live traps, stand as the cornerstone of humane feral control. These metal or wire mesh enclosures lure rabbits with enticing bait like meat or specialized cat lures, triggering a door mechanism upon entry. Unlike lethal traps, cage traps capture cats unharmed, allowing for relocation or release after assessment. The strategic use of bait is crucial, typically involving food sources that feral cats find irresistible. This method allows farmers to target specific areas where feral cat activity is high, enabling a more focused and efficient approach to population control.
This is the business, and this is a trap door.
One of the advantages of cage traps lies in their selective nature. These traps can be strategically placed in areas where feral cat presence is confirmed, minimizing the risk of unintentionally capturing non-target animals. This selectivity is crucial for farmers seeking to reduce the impact on native wildlife and domesticated species, while effectively managing feral cat populations. Once feral cats are captured, farmers face decisions regarding their removal. Efforts are made to strike a balance between population control and ethical treatment. In many cases, captured feral cats are handed over to local authorities or wildlife rescue organizations equipped to assess and address their fate. This collaborative approach ensures that captured cats are subjected to responsible management practices, often involving health assessments and decisions regarding rehoming, or if necessary, humane euthanasia.
Outdoor feral cats are trapped with a humane trap.
Farmers may also engage in trap-neuter-return (TNR) programs as part of their trapping and removal strategy. TNR involves capturing feral cats, sterilizing them to prevent further reproduction, and then returning them to their original habitat. While this method does not eliminate existing feral cat populations, it contributes to long-term population control by preventing unchecked breeding. The humane aspect of TNR aligns with the broader goal of feral cat management, recognizing the need for ethical considerations in population control strategies.
It is remarkable that the feral cat that escaped from this trap continues to go inside.
Beyond traditional cage traps, farmers explore alternative trapping techniques that prioritize the welfare of captured feral cats. Padded jaw traps, for instance, are designed to minimize the risk of injury to the trapped animal. These traps have a gentler grip, reducing the potential for harm while still ensuring effective capture. This humane approach aligns with ethical considerations and reflects a commitment to responsible feral cat management. technology plays a supportive role in enhancing the efficiency of trapping and removal efforts. Camera traps, strategically positioned near trapping sites, help farmers monitor feral cat activity, allowing for informed decisions on trap placement and baiting strategies. This technological integration ensures a more targeted and data-driven approach, contributing to the overall effectiveness of trapping initiatives. While trapping and removal are essential tools in feral cat management, farmers recognize the need for complementary strategies.
You know, when you're trapping, you want to be able to get the animal first go, because if you educate them...
Education and awareness programs play a crucial role in promoting responsible pet ownership and addressing the root causes of feral cat populations. By fostering a deeper understanding of the impact of feral cats on agriculture and ecosystems, farmers aim to engage the broader community in proactive measures to prevent the proliferation of feral cat colonies. In the shadows of the night, farmers deploy another tactic: poisoning and baiting programs. Keep watching as we unravel the controversial yet impactful methods used to control feral cat populations. How effective are these programs, and what ethical considerations weigh on the minds of those who choose this path? Poisoning and baiting programs for feral cat control remain a highly contentious topic in Australia. While proponents tout their effectiveness in curbing feral cat populations, critics raise concerns about potential harm to non-target species, environmental contamination, and ethical implications. Let's consider a more realistic scenario. A feral cat, hungry and alert, encounters bait that smells enticingly sweet and meaty. What do you think would happen? In 70% of cases, these cats will consume it. This is where the baiting control method comes into play. This bait, often a sausage-shaped morsel, conceals a lethal secret. It contains toxic substances like anticoagulants or neurotoxins. When a feral cat ingests this poisoned bait, the toxins disrupt vital bodily functions, leading to either internal hemorrhages or a swift shutdown of the nervous system. The use of such baits raises ethical concerns, as the consequences of ingestion can vary from swift death to potentially agonizing outcomes, prompting discussions about animal welfare. The success of these poisoning and baiting programs relies on precision and strategic planning. Operators carefully map out zones for deploying baits, considering factors like cat territories, food sources, and the potential encounter with non-target species. The choice of poison is also a crucial decision. Anticoagulants, for instance, take days to take effect, allowing poisoned cats to move beyond the targeted area, posing risks to scavengers. Neurotoxins, while faster acting, come with strict handling and disposal regulations.
I've never seen ever one of the cats.
Despite these precautions, the effectiveness of baiting programs faces challenges. Feral cats, like seasoned warriors, can learn to avoid the deadly bait after initial encounters, making the program less effective over time. Additionally, environmental factors such as rainfall or the presence of scavenging birds can impact the distribution and dispersal of baits, affecting their reach and overall success. The act of deliberately poisoning feral cats, despite their invasive nature, raises a host of ethical concerns, creating a precarious ethical tightrope. Those opposing this method argue that it's a cruel act, causing unnecessary suffering to animals, even if they are causing ecological havoc. Graphic images of cats convulsing on the ground intensify moral objections, and the potential harm to non-target species like dingo pups or endangered birds adds another layer of complexity. Critics contend that these indiscriminate methods undermine conservation efforts and question the ethical foundation of human intervention in delicate ecosystems. On the other side of the spectrum, proponents present a different perspective. They emphasize the severe impact feral cats have on Australia's biodiversity. Studies suggest that these hunters take a toll on millions of native birds, marsupials, and reptiles annually, pushing some vulnerable species to the brink of extinction. With ecosystems hanging in the balance, proponents argue that targeted poisoning, when executed meticulously and in conjunction with other control measures, becomes an essential, though unfortunate, reality. They maintain it's a stark choice, weighing the suffering of individual animals against the potential preservation of entire ecosystems. In essence, the debate over poisoning feral cats navigates through the delicate terrain of ethics. Opponents emphasize the cruelty and potential collateral damage, while proponents stress the urgent need to address the devastating impact on biodiversity. The ethical tightrope walk involves considering the suffering of individual animals against the broader goal of ecosystem preservation, forcing a nuanced examination of the moral implications surrounding the management of feral cat populations. The battle against feral cats requires a harmonious blend of solutions rather than relying on a single discordant approach. While poisoning and baiting programs may have a role in specific situations, they need to be part of a comprehensive framework that includes various control and mitigation strategies. Modifying habitats by removing food sources and providing safe nesting spaces for native birds can deter feline predators. Trap-neuter release programs, although resource-intensive, offer a more humane method by sterilizing captured cats to curb population growth. Crucially, public education on responsible pet ownership, involving microchipping and desexing, serves as a preventative shield against future generations of feral invaders. Traditional methods like trapping and culling, while effective in localized areas, often prove inadequate for large-scale control due to ethical concerns, logistical challenges, and ecological repercussions. This necessitates delving into the realm of groundbreaking research and experimental approaches that offer a glimmer of hope for a more sustainable and effective future in feral cat management. Researchers are looking into a cool and sort of sci-fi way to control feral cats, and it involves something called gene drives. These are like tiny DNA tools that can be put into a cat population using things like viruses or bacteria. What's interesting is that it can influence how certain traits get passed down from one cat generation to the next. Now, when it comes to feral cats, scientists are thinking about using gene drives to do a few different things. One idea is to mess with their ability to have lots of babies. They're thinking of adding genes that make female cats unable to have babies or male cats unable to make babies. So over time, the number of feral cats could go down because fewer and fewer kittens are being born.
To eradicate all the cats by 2025.
Another idea is what they call drive-by control. This is like introducing genes that make cats sensitive to some kind of safe birth control or a way to manage their population. It's like having a specific tool to keep their numbers in check without hurting them.
The research that Australian Wildlife Conservancy has done, that each cat is killing on.
And then there's the drive for conservation idea. This one is a bit wild. They want to create cats that carry genes making them glow in the dark or smell a certain way. The goal is to warn other animals, like birds or rodents, that the cat is around so they can avoid them. It's like giving cats a natural warning sign. But, and it's a big but, using gene drives comes with lots of questions. There's a worry about things going wrong, like the genes mutating in unintended ways. There's also the risk of affecting other animals that weren't supposed to be involved, and we don't really know how it might mess up the balance of nature. In finding ways to address the impact of feral cats, innovative ecological strategies are showing promise. These approaches focus on changing how feral cats interact with their environment. One way is by modifying habitats, like creating safe spaces for vulnerable species through planting native plants and building fences that keep cats out. Another way is manipulating resources, such as giving extra food to native animals to divert cats away from them.
The moggy lobby, I call it. People put cats before wildlife, simply put, in Australia.
An interesting approach involves managing the relationships between predators and prey. This means introducing natural enemies of feral cats, like owls or foxes, in carefully controlled areas. This helps control the feral cat population in a more natural way. Another approach is engaging communities in taking responsibility. This includes educating people about being responsible cat owners, implementing programs that neuter and release cats, and running campaigns to make the public aware of the issues.
Cats kill about 6 million animals every night in Australia.
While these ecological strategies offer long-term solutions and have fewer ethical concerns, they can be challenging to put in place. They need a lot of time and resources, and their effectiveness can depend on the specific area and conditions. Additionally, there's a digital side to dealing with feral cats. Advanced technologies like camera traps and sensor networks constantly watch cat behavior, giving us important information about where they are and how they move. Predictive modeling uses this data to predict where feral cats might cause problems with native wildlife. Drones are also being used to survey large areas and find places where feral cats might be breeding. Another interesting aspect is involving everyday people in solving the issue. Citizen science initiatives encourage the public to help collect data and monitor feral cat activities. This not only gathers more information, but also gets communities more involved and concerned about the problem.
Tackle feral felines on 5 islands across Australia.
So, in dealing with feral cats, we're not just looking at one solution. We're exploring different ways to change their habits and manage their populations. From modifying habitats and resources to introducing natural predators and involving local communities, these strategies aim for a more balanced and sustainable coexistence. And with the help of technology and the public, we're gaining valuable insights to better understand and address the challenges posed by feral cat populations.